Exactly 2 years ago today, I released my first YouTube video. It was a Persona 3 Portal review, and it is a terrible video. And I think that's a good thing, right? Like, I can look back on past projects and recognize what I did wrong and what I do better now and things like that. But realistically, if I hadn't published that video, I would not be doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing today. Because of that crazy first step, I have not only made one YouTube channel, but two YouTube channels. And I think anybody who has ever published something on the internet can attest to the fact that it's terrifying for a lot of reasons. The main thing for me is that, like, all of that stuff is just very permanent. You know, it's not like, I made a piece of art or I made a song, and if I don't like it, I can just throw it in the trash can. No, that stuff is uploaded and it's on the internet forever for everyone to see. Fortunately, I don't have big connections on my channel to my real life. I like keeping those two aspects of myself very separate just for privacy reasons. But, you know, at this point, I'm 2 years in, I've told at least a handful of people in my personal life, a few family members, some friends here and there, but again, for the most part, it's nice to have things separate. But back on track of being a YouTuber, I guess, for the past couple years. This past year has been weird, to say the least, because, you know, that first year was really just me kind of trying to figure things out as best as I could, and I started uploading once a month. You know, I thought I could review a game once a month and that would be enough, and this past year I have uploaded a video every single week, and that's not an easy thing to do because all of my stuff, at least on this channel, is very, very, very scripted. And you take a look at most of my videos, they're kind of in like the 8 to 10 minute range. And I basically, those videos, those are all 2 pages typed single space, and they usually end up being around like 12 or 1300 words for an entire script. And I mean, I guess thinking back in high school, like, those were like small essay lengths, and now I'm doing that every single week, which is crazy to think about how that would normally be like a multi-week project, maybe even a month-long project in high school, and now that's something I do every week, and sometimes when I'm behind on schedule, I do it all in one day. But regardless of stupid deadlines that I set for myself that don't really have any meaning, it's been a lot this past year, uploading once a week, in addition to uploading basically every day over on my second channel, Oro Plays, where I did Persona 5 Royal in real time. I've done a few videos here and there on this channel when I mentioned it, but just in case, it's Oro Plays. I'll be doing Reload next. That starts in early April. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but, you know, having one massive project where I have to upload basically every day, and then also smaller projects where I have to upload once a week, in addition to doing reviews still, which is kind of what I feel like is my bread and butter. I spend a lot of time on these stupid little YouTube videos, but, you know, it's something that I've really enjoyed, and I feel like it's a great creative outlet for me because I don't really have any friends I can talk to about all these different things that I play. You know, in case you can't tell by my channel, I play a lot of very niche games. Obviously, I've got some very mass appeal, like I love the Zelda series and tons of people play those, but something like Persona or Xenoblade or even like Metroid to an extent, those are very niche games with not a very big following, and obviously none of my real life friends really play those games. So, like I said, this has been a lot of fun, and I've basically kind of revamped my whole setup this past year, because in the past, I had no permanent setup. I was editing on a laptop, which, as awesome as my laptop is, at least when I bought it, it was a pretty high-end one. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass to edit on a small screen. I probably should have bought a mouse, to be honest, instead of using a trackpad, but now I've got a very high-end desktop. I've got a dual monitor setup, and I've got this awesome desk. I've got a really high-end mic and headphones and everything. And I was basically able to buy a lot of that stuff with the money that I got from making YouTube videos. Granted, a few of those videos are kind of doing the heavy lifting, and a lot of the videos don't do super well, but you know, that's kind of one thing that I have learned over this past year especially, is to just enjoy what I'm doing and not worry too much about the numbers, because if I put in effort and passion into these projects, at some point that will come back to me. And I never know which videos are going to do well and which videos are not going to do well, but I just keep making them because that's what I enjoy to do. And you know, when you enjoy doing something, the paycheck is a nice little extra, but that was never really the incentive for me doing this. I mean, if I could do this full time, that would be amazing, and I think I would really love that, but honestly, it's something, it just kind of gives me something to do. You know, I play through games, and I've actually got a couple reviews in the works right now. A couple of them are, actually one of them is probably close to being finished. It may even be coming out next week. In case you couldn't tell, this is not even remotely scripted. I'm just looking at my Audacity recording go. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good learning process, and I think I've kind of settled into my style at this point. You know, like I said, that first year was a lot of experimentation with what I wanted to do, and now I think I've kind of meandered into kind of the old YouTube style, where very low end on the editing. You know, I don't do a lot of cuts, I don't do a lot of graphics or anything, mostly just me doing voiceover with gameplay in the background. And I think that's kind of what suits me best and what suits my content best, because at least from my point of view, the interesting part, or what I would hope you come for, is the kind of video essay type stuff. It's the audio, the voiceover work, which is that really what's popular on YouTube now? No. A lot of what's popular is very fast-paced, very heavily edited, lots of different things going on, and I found myself, even when I watch those videos, it's like sensory overload, and I don't think that I want to do that in my content. And I feel like I could go on and on and on and on about all the different things that I could talk about, the lessons that I've learned, but I'm just thankful to have these opportunities. You know, I'm in a very lucky spot to have high-end hardware, and I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from, so I'm able to spend money on these types of things and play these games and put these things out, even though it's incredibly time-consuming and doesn't bring back a lot of money. So I'm just very thankful for both the channels and all these opportunities that it's provided for me, and I'm very, very, very excited to see what the next year has in store for me for YouTube. Maybe I'll make another channel, but I've got my work cut out for me just managing two right now. But it's a great experience, and I hope you'll join me for this next year.